Hello, new ARK Omega players. I am going to be doing a short series on the basics of this mod. So if you're here, you're looking how to get started. Now I've assumed you already got some levels into you and you're kind of stuck and you don't know what to do. That's okay, you've come to the right place. I'll have different videos describing different things in depth as possible for you guys so you guys can understand step by step as you progress. So I assumed you have set up already a little base and you see all these new structures and you don't know what to do. So the first thing you should do is craft an Omega workbench. Most of your early crafting to late crafting will be here. Potions and whatnot will be here. You can craft yourself a raft. Your tranqs will be also in here. Armor, attachments, and whatnot that the mod has provided for you. But you run into, so let's say you have all this set up, right? You got this going like, what do I do next? Alright, so you're going to try to get enough resources to get a egg collector right away. Now this egg collector is a little different than most. I know as in 3.02, the Soul Terminal and the Omega Dinos don't get along. Which means, excuse me, they don't produce eggs, or take days and days to produce just a couple of eggs. So most of your structures, just like I said, will be in here. Uh, 3 hours. Sorry about that. Okay, so you're gonna make yourself a egg collector. So you come in here. You can type it in, of course, but you can also see all the different structures. Now, you won't have all these unlocked because you're not high enough level or you have not completed certain requirements in the game. But this is it right here. You craft one and you just put it down, and that's it. It'll collect if you don't have dinos to put in there. Like I have the dodo ready for you guys here to show you how it's done. It'll collect eggs. As you can see, there is. We're gonna show. It shows you what you have in there. Now the unfortunate thing here is that the Soul Terminal is still better for the normal dodos, which you will need for, you know, just like any other mod. You need normal dinos, normal eggs first. You can't put them in here. This only uses the Omega creatures in here is best for them. So once you saw the Kibble Table, you've already picked up the Kibble Table. Here are the tiers: basic, beta, alpha, prime, ultimate, omega. They're just a little bit, you know, whoop, 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 whoop. But you're gonna start out with basic. And as you can see, the first variant, the rage, is for any rage variant dino, and we'll go over variants later. I might post a picture, and I'll put the Google Doc in the comments or in the description below. Click on that and it will show you everything that you need to know. Now I will be covering the Google Doc as well. I'll just make 2 separate videos and then I'll timestamp it so you guys can go and see what the Google Doc is. But for rage variants, for example, this dodo right here is a rage variant, you see, and it's beta rage, and it's a brutal. So you will learn those with time. If you have the awesome spyglass, it will tell you. It's pretty easy, but I'll just put the Google Doc down below for sanity's sake for people that really want to look into it. So you can craft all the kibble that you'll ever need in here, except the recipe for Unique kibble is how you tame unique dinos, and we will go over those later on. I actually have a video on what you should be keeping your eye out for. But to make a unique kibble, to take unique basic dinos, you need to collect all the basic eggs first. That is the recipe for it. And then as you go through the tiers, the recipe ever changes so slightly. You know, it gets harder, but you are getting stronger. That's normal. You know, you're gonna start needing crops and stuff like that, which brings me to my next point about crops. So because the tech shield kind of is, you know, not very fun, structures, you can actually now craft, and do I have enough for it? Oh, I already have stuff in it. Okay, perfect. It is like a miniature sun that you can, it says it right there in the description. You can put it over your crops to provide sunlight. And it's going to be 300%. Now, it works. It's nice. I use it. So that we're going to leave that there because we're going to use it a little later. Now, let's just say you tamed your first basic dodo. Congratulations. You are closer to unlocking higher tiers. But you don't know how to put this in there. You can try to write it in there. Not going to work. You can always try the old dodo trick. Shove it in. Dodo, leave. Nothing. So what you'll have to do is, you can, like we showed earlier, you can view whoever you have. So we're having a beta, and I'll just show you guys here, beta rage. We gotta find the rage. Luckily it's like elemental eggs, here's all your tiers. I really like that about. So we gotta go down to rage. So nightmare, eternal, there's a lot of eggs you guys need to collect, just a heads up. The better you start. So beta, we have nothing for rage, right? It's all zeros. So we're gonna choose nearby females to integrate. Yeah, there, no way that's happening. And we're gonna pick beta brutal dodo. And then this will destroy your dino and you will not get it back. If this is a PT you intend to ride, do not do this. It says it right there. This will be destroyed. So we put it in there. And we're just going to take this out. I'm going to eat it. Just so you guys can see. Now there's nothing, no other dinos other than Bahamut over there dropping eggs. I've put everything away except him. He's my favorite. So you're making these eggs and you're getting up to the tier, right? Taming, but you're like, well, I'm having a hard time collecting ultimate, essence, souls. Like, how do I make this kibble, right? Because you need souls to even do anything. Well, it's actually a cheesy way, but it's a good way. Go where there's a lot of fighting, like dino to dino. Like on the island, we have the fighting, I call it the fighting pits on the little island. Something that's killing something, and you will passively earn. Well, I've been sitting here this entire time, and I have not moved from here, right? Well, these, just because I'm in the vicinity, they show up in my inventory. So if you're on Gen 2, just go to the bad area and fly over stuff. Stuff is killing constantly there, you'll get basic essence and souls. You don't need to kill it yourself. So you collect a lot of basic essence, you have some internal souls, and you're like, okay, I need armor. I need to be able to kill stuff by myself. So I figured this out yesterday, and I really wanted to put in a video, so this will give me the idea. Right here, this is amazing right here for new players. You can get every single set in the game. Well, most sets, not all. There's high tier sets that can only be dropped from gods, and we'll talk about those later. But this is a great cheap way to do it. The only downside to this one is you see how random stats bonuses, you can't imbue this armor. But that's okay, you don't care, you're just trying to get by. So I'm gonna put these in my inventory. Okay, so we've covered armor, how to get it. let's cover weapon. The best early game weapon is weapons. I've unlocked all of them. You guys might not be able to see them because you either don't have the level or you have not killed the requirement for it. But this Eternal Spear, it's a great starting weapon. You can throw it. It scales off your melee and your movement speed, which early game you have a lot. And to make that weapon extremely powerful early game for you is the Soul Scream set, which this is why these tokens are here. So we were gonna go open one by one here. Bloodlust is for the whip. There you go, we have one Soul Scream. Bloodlust for the whip. And if you have a whip instead of a spear, that's fine, but the spear is just very cheap to get. So I suggest a spear. That's what I started out with. And this is even if you don't need this one, like it's the Tempest ones. The gifted one is, 20% dodge. It's amazing for early game. There you go. We got Soul Scream boots. I think we have 2 of them. Yeah, so that doesn't do us any good. Get fortune. More Soul Scream boots. Wonderful. Flashbang. That's not a bad one. So what you're seeing there is the 2 items set, 3 items. This is how many pieces you have on, and I'll cover the difference there here in a minute. I'm not getting any Soul Scream stuff, but as you can see, you get all kinds of. It looks like the Bloodlust and the Gifted are very well liked. The Icicle, that's a good one as well. Gifted. And the Gravity Hat. So you can see that it gives you a lot of random stuff. But I will be covering the Soul Scream set that I have currently on. Why it's so overpowered early game to start getting you those souls and stuff you are looking for. So it gives this. Each set has you no longer have collisions with creatures. You can run through them. 25% dodge. No longer uses stamina on sprint. Underwater, bunch of teleport you forward. And no fall damage. No fall damage is amazing. There's another boots I will show you for early game that I just remembered as I was talking to you and getting distracted by my kitty cats. So the Eternal Soul Spear, let's make it here. We'll make a basic one because that's what everybody starts with. Sorry for the noise in the back. The kitties are very annoying today. And the husky snoops a lot. So this is a basic one. No extra bonuses, just 100% damage, right? Just like any other ARK weapon. Now, here's the difference for some weapons. There are uniques and legendary versions of them, and they all have different abilities. So the unique one, it's called Destiny, like the name. It has chances to proc double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, and sextuple the damage, and it can roll multiple rolls. As it says, it can roll multiple damage multipliers. So you can roll all of them and hit 40k on something, right? Now that's the unique version of it. And now this is the legendary one. Double and triple multiplier work when thrown. So when you throw it, you have those 2 going together, and they can't go, they both can trigger. 10% increase for each chance on melee, so more damage. If you trigger all the curses, you're immune to any damage. But the thing that really is nice is the throwing, and I'll demonstrate it a little later. Also, Now let's look at the full set items. So you have a basic spear, and you have your spear now does 300% more damage, and that's not counting the so it's the 100%. So you're doing 3 or 400% more damage, right? Great. Let's go to Blue Ob and show you a little bit of the difference how it is. The set, all it does is you get multiple things. Okay, so we have dimensional vision. As you can see, here's the water. I took my pants off because which guy doesn't want to take his pants off? And then if you put him on, the water disappears. That means you can run in the water. See, I am running. Dimensional vision. Everything else still acts towards the water. See, there's the sharks down there. I am in the water. If I take the set off, the dimensional is gone. But that means I can't swim and I'll just sink to the bottom. Don't pay attention to that. That's a dimensional shark chasing a dimensional turtle. I don't know what's going on there. Sorry, the husky's a little yappy today. I just asked the wife to give him a treat because a yapper pupper is a never good yapper pupper on the internet. So we're gonna start with the basic spear. Here is a shield one. The shield one pushes you away, and we stunned it for a little bit, and we applied a curse. So that is the basic spear without any of the rolls. Now let's put on the unique one. The next tier up. Now the unique one can be thrown. With this full set, and this is a very strong spear. This is the only one I could find. But when it's thrown, it explodes and does AoE because of the 4 sets we have on. We have 5 sets because we want that extra 200% damage. But if you had only 4 sets, it'll do AoE damage. See how it explodes? And if we take the hat off, oh wait, no, we gotta take one more off. See, it doesn't explode. Different effects. Now the legendary one, it's a bit different. Does a huge AoE. It curses. So what the curses means is it applies a debuff. With the full set on and a legendary spear, you can. Oh, it's probably not gonna live. Oh, there you go. Item. But this is the difference in weapons tiers. Of course, legendary is being very strong. You can melee attack something and then throw a spear at it and it'll have 2 debuffs. And a % chance to stun it. So you can use this method, kind of work towards the Soul Scream set. And the spear, if you want to get a spear that's a unique one, the legendary ones is a little hard to get early game, so I wouldn't say you can do it. But this unique spear, it will be probably like 120 weapon damage, but it's still better because you have these rolls. What I would say is the way, well, how you get the unique one is killing ethernal dinos. So anything that's ethernal, I can't. I call them eternal. I know it's wrong, but it's just how I've learned it. You can see even so the only time that the multipliers roll. Look, we'll keep doing 36k. Right, that one's a little different. But it depends on what dino you're doing. See, 129 every time. If I don't die here and equip the legendary one, see, we dodged it there. That's a lot of damage dodge. But yeah, we lived longer than I expected us to. But then those double and triple multipliers would roll over. Now these are all the, well, not all the sets, but most of the sets that I have created are right here. I don't have all of them completed, but they all have their unique stuff. This is the Midas set. This is an end game set that makes you, and I'll just leave it here. Wabbajack is a late game item that you can get from gods, the loot god or treasure god, or actually any lucky variant to be specific. Now you've probably had the spyglass around. You've been killing stuff with all the with the Soul Scream set, and you keep running into these lucky kibble. Lucky kibble guys, right? Like you've seen a soul one, you've seen an essence one, probably. Maybe you got lucky and you saw a paragon one. Well, lucky kibble can only be obtained by killing lucky variant bosses and gods. So kind of put that on the back burner there. Don't worry about them. You don't need that kibble quite yet. Another thing I get asked is imbuing. But I'm going to make that into a different video. We're going to talk about how to upgrade our structures. Yes, there is an upgrade for it, and you're going to have to craft yourself a soul grinder. This is the recipe for the soul grinder. There it is. Now this is what I was telling you. You should get the Soul Scream set with a spear early so you can cheese some ultimate dinos, because they will one-shot you. I guarantee you that. I had that problem multiple times. So you have collected your thingies, your recipe requirements, and you have crafted your soul grinder, and you're sitting in here like, what am I looking for? Okay, I see the structure upgrades he said. Let's start with that. So soul shards are gathered one of, well, there's 3 ways to get them. You can grind some Omega Souls, you can grind Boss or God Souls, and you'll get Soul Shards. Omega Souls, you can find them on them, it's from just Omega Dinos that you see on the outside in the world. Boss and God Souls, at this point in the game, you don't need to worry about, but yes, they give more Soul Shards than normal. So you're just going to be killing Omega Dinos left and right to collect their souls and grind them in here. So we're going to go to structure and upgrade, and this is the upgrade for our egg layer. So we're going to craft one. So as you can see, we don't have any eggs yet, right? So this boosts tremendously the production of eggs. You just leave it in there, and that's it. That's all you have to do. And you know how that star I told you about? It has an upgrade now too. So we can make it going from 300% bonus to 600% bonus. And this is, if you saw it in there, this is what it was talking about. Also costs 20 souls. 20 soul shards, that is. So we're going to come over here. We're going to jump over all this parkour stuff, and we're going to go in here, and we're going to put in the trophy section. Now it's blue. And this will give your crops 600%. You don't need a lot of crops in this mod, but you know, making veggie cakes and some of the recipes is required, and it looks cool. You know, eye-catching. Stare. Anyways, I believe that is it. Of course, you still have to collect your honey. Another, actually, yeah, that's actually a good point right here. Another thing is a grinder. Also crafted in the Omega workbench here. Most of your structures will be crafted in the Omega workbench for the Omega mod. And grinder, compressor, quantum, all dimensional grinder right here. These are the recipes for it. Pretty easy to get. Very, very convenient because you can go around the map collecting drops. And let's just say for a second here, we did go around collecting some drops, and we have these weird things that we can make. So as soon as we stop flagging here, there we go. We're gonna dump him in. And go grind settings, grind inventory now. Boom. You had some basic essence. So we get the lucky soul and stuff because some of the weapons are from the Omega mod, so it gives us souls for them in essence. But you see, this is just a really convenient way, and it's cheaper than the grinder, and it's easier level. It's an earlier level. So you can see the dimensional grinder is level 12, soul grinder is level 50, and these are 64. So you can grind it and use the resources to build your base. Alright guys, I think that's gonna do it for early game. Of course, you're supposed to come in, level up, hit those nodes, hit those XP boosts, and or just craft like everybody else does. And get to the level where you can't, you know, not get one-shotted, and be able to collect some souls to get yourself a spear. Then use the spear to kill ethernal dinos and get a soul scream set. And as you can see, once you get that soul scream set, it changed our kill potential quite a lot. The spear still scales with throwing it. It scales with both melee and movement speed, which is great. It does, and then you have the quadruple, quintuple, triple the damage boost, and then if you get really lucky, you might get a unique, but those are rare. That goes into the category of Magic Find, which I will be talking probably second or third video. We'll see. But I hope you guys enjoyed my content. If you have any questions down below, or this guide isn't in depth enough and you have questions about it, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. If you also like my content and you want to support me, please hit the subscribe button. And if you really enjoy the sound of my voice, go ahead and hit the bell to notify you when I post videos. I post videos and go live quite a bit. If you like the video, also give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot to see that I've actually done something correctly. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.